today we are going to discuss about a very important concept of game theory, which is the stag hunt game. Well, stag hunt game is a very important concept of game theory, and the stag hunt game is also known as assurance game. This game was developed by Jean-Jacques Rousseau in his 1755 work Discourse on Inequality. Rousseau described a scenario where there are two hunters, and each of those two hunters has to decide whether they will cooperate to hunt a stag or whether they will cooperate to hunt a hare. Okay, so there will be hunting, and they have to decide whether they will cooperate to hunt a stag or they will cooperate to hunt a hare individually. This game illustrates the tension between the individual benefit and the mutual cooperation. So basically, what do we have here? We have two hunters, and each of those two hunters has to decide whether they will. So basically, suppose these are our two hunters, and each of these hunters has to decide whether they will cooperate to hunt a stag or they will cooperate to hunt a hare. So before going into the payoff matrix, at first I will give an explanation about the scenario. Let's imagine we have two hunters. So basically, if we have two hunters, the name of the hunters are Alice and Bob. Leading to the next part, that is they have come across a stag while out hunting, but they don't know each other all that well. So basically, Alice and Bob doesn't know each other very well. They are not very much close friends. They just know each other at a very basic level. They are not very close to each other, or they don't know each other very well. They are not close friends, to be precise. In fact, Alice takes a look at Bob and his questionable choice of hunting gear, and Bob looks at Alice and wonders if she even can be trusted. So both of them are looking at each other, and both of them are actually not being able to believe each other completely. So basically, Bob and Alice are not being able to believe, or they are not being able to trust each other. They are not trusting each other. Bob is thinking that whether Alice will help him or not to hunt the stag, and Alice is also thinking that whether Bob will help him or not in hunting the stag. So they are both are basically in a doubt whether to trust each other or not. So she might just scare the stag off by accident and ruin the whole hunt. But they both know that they can't hunt the stag alone. They have two choices: hunt the stag together. If both Alice and Bob choose to hunt the stag, they must cooperate, and if it's successful, then they both receive a very high reward. If either choose to hunt hares instead of the stag, they secure a smaller guaranteed reward regardless of the other's choice. If either they basically choose to hunt the hares, then that is a guaranteed reward for all them. Now, if we represent it by a matrix, then this 10-10, this is representing that Bob is hunting the stag and Alice is hunting the stag. Together they are getting 10 and 10 as their payoff. If I suppose that 10 is basically 10 kilo of meat, so they both of them are getting 10 kilo of meat each. Alice and Bob, both of them are getting 10 kilo of meat each, and basically this can be represented as 10 and 10. If both of them are supporting each other, and both of them are trusting each other, and both of them are togetherly trying to hunt this stag, then both of them are getting 10 kilo and 10 kilo of meat by hunting the stag. Similarly, if Alice hunts stag, or Alice is thinking of hunting the stag and Bob is thinking of hunting the hare, then Alice gets nothing, right? But Bob is basically choosing to hunt the hare, and Bob gets 7 kilo of meat. So hunting the hare can be done easily, and Bob can alone hunt the hare. So there is no concept of Alice supporting Bob or not. Bob can hunt the hare alone and can get 7 kilo of meat, while Alice not supporting Bob doesn't matter for the Bob. So Bob is getting 7 kilos of meat, and Alice was thinking of hunting stag. But Bob doesn't support, Bob is basically not supporting Alice because Bob is thinking of hunting the hare. So what will happen here? Bob will, as it is written here, you can write that Bob will basically um, scare the stag by accident and ruin the whole hunt. So here what is happening? Alice is thinking of hunting the stag, but Bob is thinking of hunting the hare. So Bob will basically uh, scare the stag and ruin the entire hunting, and so therefore Alice, who was thinking of hunting the stag, will get a 0 as payoff, that is 0 kilo of meat, and Bob alone, who was thinking of hunting a hare, will alone hunt a hare and get 7 kilo of meat. That will be his payoff. Similarly here, if we consider this scenario, in this scenario, Alice is thinking of hunting the hare and Bob is thinking of hunting the stag. So Bob is thinking of hunting the stag, but Alice is thinking of hunting the hare. That means Alice is not supporting Bob, right? Bob is thinking to hunt the stag, but he can't hunt the stag alone. He needs the support of Alice. But Alice is not supporting Bob because Alice is thinking of hunting the hare. That's why Alice is basically scaring the stag and ruining the entire hunting. And Alice, as he is thinking of hunting the hare, he will individually or alone hunt the hare and get 7 kilo of meat, and Bob will get nothing because Bob was thinking of killing or hunting the stag, and stag was scared and the hunt was ruined by Alice, who was thinking of hunting the hare. And the last one, if both of them are agreeing to hunt hare, if Bob and Alice both of them are agreeing to hunt the hare, then both of them are getting 7 kilo of meat. Now in this matrix 10 and 10, both Alice and Bob cooperate to hunt the stag, resulting the highest payoff for both. 0 7 or 7 0, when one hunts stag alone, which was basically an unsuccessful event because eventually killing or hunting the stag alone is not possible, while the other hunts a hare. So basically one of them is trying to hit or kill the stag alone, which will not be possible. So basically he will get or receive 0 as payoff, and other one individually or alone um, hunts the hare, so he will basically receive 7 kilo of meat. 7 7, when both of them hunt hares independently and receiving a very moderate payoff. Here both of them are actually killing the um, hares or hunting the hares independently and getting a moderate payoff. Now which are basically the Nash equilibrium in this model? So there are basically two Nash equilibriums in this model, or two equilibriums in this model. One is cooperative equilibrium and another one is non-cooperative equilibrium. As you can see, when both of them are choosing to hunt the stag togetherly, they are getting the highest amount of payoff, 10-10. When both Bob and Alice are selecting to hunt this stag togetherly, they are getting a very high amount of payoff, which is 10 and 10. So this is basically cooperative equilibrium. As you can see, this is the cooperative equilibrium, and another one is the non-cooperative equilibrium, when both of them are choosing to hunt hares. So which is safer, as it guarantees a reward without relying on others' cooperation, right? I mean, Bob can alone kill or hunt a hare. Similarly, Alice can alone kill or hunt a hare. Both of them can kill or hunt a hare alone. So they doesn't have to depend on the other's decision or others' actions. But in case of stag, they have to depend on the other's decision because it is not possible to kill a stag alone. So when they are killing hares or hunting hares, both Bob and Alice can individually kill a hare, right? So they don't have to rely on others decision. And this equilibrium in which both of them are individually selecting to hunt the hare and getting 7 and 7 as payoff, this is the non cooperative equilibrium because it doesn't depend on others decision. If they doesn't cooperate with each other, it doesn't matter, they can kill uh, kill a hare alone, completely alone, and get the payoff. The choice to hunt the stag is known as the payoff dominant strategy because it leads to the highest reward if both cooperates. However, hunting hares is the risk dominant strategy because it provides a guaranteed reward even if the other players does not cooperate. Hunting hare is risk dominant strategy because it provides a guaranteed reward even if the other players does not cooperate. The stag hunt highlights a critical aspect of human interactions, the need for trust and coordination to achieve the best collective outcome. It is relevant in various fields such as economic, political science, social physiology, and social psychology, and providing insights into how individuals can overcome coordination problem to achieve mutual benefits. If both of them has cooperated here, that is both of them are selecting to hunt stack togetherly, then both of them can get a very high payoff. Both of them can actually get a very high payoff, that is 10 and 10. But it depends on whether they are trusting each other or not, whether they are cooperating with each other or not. If they are cooperating with each other, if they are trusting on each other, if they are coordinating with each other, then both of them will receive the best collective outcome, which is the 10 and 10. But if they doesn't trust on each other, then they will obviously be deviated from this best collective outcome, that is 10 and 10. Okay, this is very much relatable in the field of economics and psychology and political science as well. Okay, now two equilibriums are important here. These two are the Nash equilibrium, cooperative equilibriums and non-cooperative equilibriums. This was the analysis of game. Real world examples of the stag hunt game. Climate crisis is a can be seen as an example of stag hunt game. Think of the stag as significant coordinated actions to reduce greenhouse gas and invest in sustainable technologies. Stag is nothing but taking actions to reduce greenhouse gas and invest in sustainable technologies. And here is nothing but less affecting individuals' action that, while helpful, are not sufficient to address the global scale of the problem. Here is thinking. Here is nothing but a thought process that just taking the action by one person or one country will not end the climate crisis of the entire world, or will not end the greenhouse effect and problems of the entire world. So here is the thought process that if only one country or one person takes the action to reduce the greenhouse gas and invest in sustainable technologies, then that is not enough. And stag is that when both of the countries or all of the countries in the world or all of the individuals are coordinating with each other with their actions and reducing the greenhouse gas emissions and investing in sustainable technologies. Now here where it gets tricky, all countries need to cooperate to effectively mitigate climate change. If all countries cooperate with each other, then the reduction of greenhouse gas and invest in sustainable technologies will be successful. But each one is hesitant, fearing that others won't do their part. But suppose there are three countries A, B, and C. Now, if all of these countries collectively cooperate and trust and coordinate with each other, then they will eventually reach the best outcome and they will mitigate the effect of climate change and they will also reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. But country A is thinking that B will not come to help them, C will not come to help them, and they will be eventually left alone in the process of reducing the greenhouse gas emission, and they have to completely fight alone in the fight of climate change. So A is not being able to trust B and C. Similarly, B before starting is not being able to trust A and C. Similarly, C before starting the fight against the climate change is not being able to trust A and B. So both of the countries or all of the countries are not being able to trust each other. So they are hesitant and they are not coordinating with each other, and they are not um, cooperating with each other. So eventually they are not getting the best collective outcome that is supposed to be taken. Thank you.